Right, big news as we're moving into season 11 of the Trek-inspired Malaga. And the news is that Jose Trevino will not be extending his contract at the end of the season, meaning the Argentinian coach will be leaving his role as manager of Malaga. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Trek-inspired Malaga into season 11, following on from that incredible club season where we had our highest ever league finish, highest ever, furthest ever in Europe. Our B team won the second tier, which is absolutely still incredible. And our under-19s won all 4 trophies: League, League Cup, Cup, and the UEFA Youth League. An absolutely incredible season. And I've decided that the time is right, contract, and getting a little bit back from the board so far this season, and as this season is progressing, getting a little bit of shtick from the fans in particular. I thought the time is right to move out and let someone take over. So this is my final season as manager of Malaga. However, make sure you're checking out the end of today's video when you'll find out what we're up to next. So, we're into season 11. 12 points from our opening 6 games, made a decent start, only 3 conceded. I said that transfer window we were going to have was never going to be absolutely outstanding. We had Raul Hernandez come in from Manchester United. He was on loan with us last year. We had that optional loan fee, which we obviously triggered, and he's made an okay start in his life. We should have really, with the points that we've had so far, I think we should have racked up more points with our fixtures. But anyway, we've made a decent start. He looks like a tremendous player for us going forward. 24 years old as well. On the outs, we've had David Bazacic, and Massa also went in January. I can't remember if I spoke about that, but David was a youth team player who never really featured for us, like often like a bench player. And then moving across towards the end of the summer, we managed to get Paul Ocon out. Big deal. We got him on a, 4.6, and then we sold him for 37, potentially rising 45.5. And when I get those potential add-ons as well, it's always numbers that should get triggered. And then Erwin Mora, he came in as like a wonder kid for 2 million. Like, we've made a little bit of money on him. He's not made a great start at all. He just didn't score enough goals. I don't know what's lacking. I don't know if he probably suits a 2-man strike force or not. Maybe that lone striker role. We've now got a deep line forward, so it probably doesn't suit him the best. But we've made a little bit of money on him. He had 1 year left, like Mora, like Ocon. He had 1 year left on his deal, and it's probably going to go up to £24 million in all comps. We managed to get in this guy, Alejandro Linares. He's 18 years old now. He looks absolutely tremendous. 5-star potential. He was playing for relegated, Almeria. I think they got relegated, and he still didn't want to sign for us. However, he was interested in a loan. So what I've done is, we got a loan deal done. We paid quite a big fee for it. I think it was up and towards sort of like £4 or £5 million. However, we've got an optional loan fee of 6.5. He's only classed as a squad player, I think. So if he can keep him happy, he can do a little bit of a job in behind as well as a shadow striker. But I just feel like he's Spanish. He's going to be really good as that squad. You know, we want to get as many Spanish players in, and we've probably picked up one of the best young Spanish players. As I said, he's literally just turned 18 years old, and to get him for in and around 10, 11 million pounds when we trigger that optional fee, and we'll do that as soon as we can, probably in January, then that will turn out, hopefully, to be a fantastic bit of business. Now, we needed a little bit of a backup, so we've bought in Noni Mariweka. He's now 31. He's got some really nice attributes. It's just his physicals that I've been lacking. I don't expect him to play much. It was a really late signing in the window. No, it wasn't. It was early August, start of the season, but still, we weren't expected to do much because of what money we had left. And then we've brought in Luka Vusakovic. Brought him in as a backup to Ocon because we sold Ocon. We brought in Hernandez. We wanted to make sure that we've always got a little bit of money and a little bit of depth to go. With the money to go again. So we brought in him. He can play centre half. He can also, I'm looking at him playing as that half back role. We actually had him on loan a couple of seasons ago. He's the guy that Spurs have signed in real life from Hajduk Split. I think he's only like 16 in real life. Big dude, 6'4". He's going to be a nice little squad player for us. He's happy being a squad player as well, which is really important. So that was the deals done. And then we've started the season pretty good. We started with a 3-1 win over Villarreal. a 5-2 win over Las Palmas, a 3-0 win over Celta Vigo, a disappointing draw at Levante, but they look, by the looks of it, 6 goals only conceded in 7 games, looks like a really hard team to break down. We then opened our Champions League going to Anfield to beat them 1-0. An absolutely tremendous start. We want to try and qualify out of the group if we can, out of the league phase if we can, and we've started really well. And then Sevilla 0-0. I don't think that's a bad point. 5-0 win over Molde, and then we've just drawn against Barcelona 0-0 in the league. So actually, we've made, a bit harsh on myself, I think look at all them clean sheets. We've made a really good start to the season. Our other Champions League groups as well, Salzburg and Galatasaray. Hopefully we can get wins over them. Dortmund at home, which I kind of fancy. Nice, redemption from that semi-final defeat last year in the Europa League. They went on to win the competition, so it'd be nice to beat them. And then we've got obviously a Super Copa coming up, but we've got Feyenoord, and then the last league game is against Real Madrid, which is a little bit annoying. I don't know if that's a bug or you can actually draw teams of your own from your own league. I imagine that's probably a bug. Let me know down in the comments. Our B team have made a decent start. We've kind of shifted a few players in and out. You know, a few have moved up, a few have progressed. We have got Mateus Tabarez. Look at him. He is the youngster that I only showed you a few months ago in the last episode. He's now 16 years old, but my, look at him. I'm going to use him in the B team for the most of the season. We may pull him across right towards the end if I give him a little game time, but he's going to have a fantastic season for us. And then the Israeli, Ala Shalata is in the B team as well. Got them in there. We've still got our goal scorers, our Kevin Castro, and we've also got the main man, the goal scorer. Who's the goal scorer? There he is. Valisis Aribidasis, the Greek kind of Australian striker. He's in. Will hopefully score us enough goals. We just want to stay in the division, but it's great that we're up there again. Scoring plenty, but conceding plenty. Now you join us at the end of the January transfer window. As you can see, we're in 7th position. We're not a million miles off. I think like Champions League football would not be the worst thing in the world. I think trying to qualify against Madrid, Barcelona, and Real when their budgets are absolutely correct, and trying to get that 4th spot is, I think, important. The board are not entirely happy that we're as far as down in 7th. The supporters are not happy. I think they're only like grading us like a C at the moment. Yeah, C plus and a C, which I think is really disappointing. They want us to, like, the demand for qualifying in Champions League with the teams that are around us. There's only that one spot that's really free because Atleti, Real and Barca are always going to get them other 3, and we overachieved. I still think we're overachieving, and our run of games has been pretty good. If we look at the league first, you know, we've had a defeat against Real, not bad. We've had a defeat against Sociedad, good side. Athletic Club are a real bugbear of mine. Girona as well, a defeat away from them, but they're up there towards the top end. We're not looking too bad, and we're beating teams we should be beating, having some really good positive wins. And in the Champions League, we've had a little bit hit and miss. We obviously, earlier on, we told you about the Molde win. We then followed it up with a 5-0 win against Salzburg, a really disappointing 3-3 against Galatasaray, with Gula scoring, the old Fenerbahce boy, scoring against Gala in the 94th minute to rescue us a point. And this has put us now in the knockout playoff round. If we'd have beaten Gala, look, we followed it with a 0-0 against Dortmund, good side. Defeat against Nice, definitely going to be a bogey side, no doubt for us. And then an 8-0 win over Feyenoord, and then losing to Real Madrid. Like, we can take that. Those 2 points would have got us in. No, the 2 points dropped wouldn't have got us in, but there we go. But it does mean that we're going to end up playing one of those teams in that group. And I'm just hoping that it's a Club Bruges, Ajax, Lille, Porto, Monaco. Nice would be nice for redemption, but we'll probably end up drawing someone like Bayern Munich or Liverpool or something like that. There's been some transfer moves, and I'm not entirely happy. We've brought someone in, but I'll tell you about the outs. Gustavo Starr had a year and a half left on his deal, so the end of 2035, his deal was done. He's 29, going to be 30 at the end of the sort of like in November this year. So I was thinking, I was quite happy to keep him. His wage wasn't massive. However, the bid that came in, I thought was pretty good. 25.5, raising to 29 million. So because of the financial situation, we want to strengthen. He was a little bit, would he play in my strongest 11? No. Can we cash in? Yes, and we've done that. Shepeski as well. He only had 6 months left on his deal. Like, look at his value now. He's gone to Al Harazem. Who were they? Saudi Arabia? Yeah, Saudi Arabia. We could have got 30 for him in the summer. I wish I'd have taken it. I was hoping he was going to sign a new deal because I did think at 23 years old, is going to be a decent backup for us, but he just wasn't happy being a backup. So we've cashed in £10 million. I've not been able to re-strengthen in the attacking midfield area. I've really struggled, and there was no one that I wanted. Couldn't even get anyone decent in on loan. So we've gone with David Castano, player that I've been tracking a little bit over the last few years. In the summer, Spurs wanted 41 million for him. He's only 23, 6'1". He's a physical, ball-winning midfielder, defensive midfielder. Just gives us that little bit of depth. Happy to be a fringe player as well. And I just thought, let's get someone through the door. We can then maybe move Koku up. We can move Gula up. We can rotate around. It's not going to be ideal, especially with the Champions League fixtures come in and a really busy end to the season where we need to get probably Champions League football. Now we're coming towards the end of February, 8th in La Liga. We're now 6 points off Atleti. I think still catchable even now because we've been knocked out of the Champions League. We drew Atleti and we just shut out in the first leg. 3-0 away from home. 9th and 13 minutes. They're just first two attacks and they went through and scored. By the looks of it, should have got a goal. I think if we'd have managed to get a goal, it might have made the second leg a little bit more interesting. They got a man sent off as well for over half an hour with 10 men. So really disappointing we couldn't capitalise. And then 3-2 against Atleti. We made a dream start. Raul Hernandez giving us a goal, but then Felix equalised, made it still 3 goals. We got a goal with Teo, and then Oscar really killed it off, and Teo got another one on 90+1. So we're out of the Champions League, which means we're also out of the Cup, which means we can go back to this sort of like, these are a few midweek games, but basically 1 game a week till the end of the season. Look at that. The last 5 or 6 games, we've got a midweek game there, a midweek game there, but generally we're going to be able to rest players a little bit and give them enough rest time with those rest weeks. We've literally been Saturday, Wednesday all the way through the season with our lack of depth striker spot. We're really struggling. Raul Hernandez, only 13 goals in 31 games, 7 in 20 in the league. A real drop-off, look, compared to last season. That's a massive issue, especially when we haven't got the backup. Obviously, we've still got Matt Gay, who's not Matt Gay? Still don't know what he's called, but he's not absolutely amazing, but he's having to do a little bit of a job for us. And then obviously Linares, our youth team player that we've got on loan, we're going to trigger his deal. We have triggered his deal, sorry. We've got that and joined him permanently. He's not quite ready yet. He's made a little bit of an impact, but, you know, the idea for him was the future. So, moving in towards the end of the season, we're a little bit short in depth, losing those midfielders. We're in a much more financial, we've given ourselves 35 million, but remember, I'm resigning at the end of the season, but I've tried to play it properly like I would do if I was carrying on as manager. The deals had to be done, and just on the thought that I may then decide to sign a deal at the end of the season. So I thought, let's do it properly and just wait out and see what happens. I forgot to mention as well, at the start of the season, we also let go of Aitor Ramos, which we've not noticed. We signed him a couple of years ago for 3.1, a right back, but because of we've got obviously the Ukrainian, who's having once again an absolutely tremendous season, Bulaka. He's on 10 assists already, really good, like one of the world's best right backs. We've also got Luciano as a little bit of a half-decent backup, Luciano Fontana. And then we've obviously got our Uruguayan fullback, Mateus Tabarez, coming through. I thought it was good business to let him go. So he's gone to Athletic Club. He was Basque, so he's gone to my friends at Bilbao for £8 million. Nice player. Lacking a little bit physically, was never going to be absolutely... The idea was he was going to be a backup or first-team option if we could get him to develop. He was no more than a B-team player from us. He was part of that memorable Atletico Malagueño team that won the second tier last season. Moving into April, we are now 6 games left towards the end of the season. We're on a little bit of a run. So you followed it up there where we'd just been knocked out of the Champions League through Atleti. We then got pummeled against Barcelona. A little bit worried that our confidence was shot. We were struggling really physically at that point. I was a little bit worried then at the game against Sevilla because it was another Wednesday game, no full week's rest. However, we got a 4-1 win. Mark Gay now coming into the side and being our main starting striker. We've left Hernandez out. I've had a board meeting as well, twice, to beg for my job. Told them to wait till the end of the season. I'm out of contract as well at the end of the season, but I wanted to make sure I finish the season. And then they've also done a meeting where if I refused to attend, they would sack me. And it was all about Hernandez, Raul Hernandez, our lone striker, and getting him out of the starting 11. So he's out, and Gay's come in and done pretty well. Hernandez has done okay coming off the bench. So Girona was a difficult one. They're right up there at the end of the so far, and we took the lead, so that was a real disappointing one. But we were on a run of 4 straight wins: Alaves, Elche, and then 2 really good wins. Like Valencia are now up to about mid-table, but we managed to win there and beating Sociedad. Our end of the season is tricky. We've got Betis away, which is always tricky. They're 11th. Espanyol at home, which is a decent one. Real Madrid second, who are away, and then a massive one potentially against Atleti. With Granada and Mallorca to finish off the season. So we're in 6th, only a point. Atleti have got a game in hand. There's Levante up there as well. Girona have had a really good season. Can we catch them? It looks like it's obviously a 2-horse race, Real Madrid and Barcelona for the title. And moving in with 2 games to go, the UEFA Champions League spot is now in our hands. We have just kept, as soon as we got to these Saturday games, we've been able to rest players a little bit, and I think it's easy to rest players. You know, games against Elche, we did a really big rotation of the players, and it was literally 90% of our backup players. They were 19th, and I thought, let's take a risk, let's beat them, and that has really helped us with us then moving into Saturday, Monday, so that was over like a week's rest, and then obviously a Wednesday, but 9 days rest, then 3 days. We've been really able to just kick on with our strongest squad. We beat Real Betis away from home. Mark Gay getting a couple again. 4-1 against Espanyol, where I think we rotated a couple of players in there just to help because they're all in 13th. Disappointing 3-2 defeat against Real Madrid because we were 2-0 up and they scored a winner in the 83rd minute. But the big one, we were 2 points behind Atleti and they came to our place and we've absolutely smashed them. What are our previous record like? Yeah, not bad. Not bad, but considering they knocked us out of the Champions League this season, it felt a little bit sweeter. And Mark Gay, who's in as no part of a backup, I've actually offered him a new deal based on this because his deal was out at the end of the season. He only wanted 35 grand, but he's just scored a couple of goals. And I think, you know, we should really, he's going to be a backup. It's a fantastic strike to put us 2-0 up. We're doing well, obviously, from set pieces. Castano, that January signing, 6'1", going to be decent in the air. And then Arda Güler whipping in late on, Okan Koku, who is leaving the club as well. Where's he going? I think he's going Saudi. Yeah, he's going to Al Ittihad at the end of the season. I thought about offering him a new deal, but I thought, look, he's on a lot of money, 120 grand. He's 33, going to be 34 at Christmas. Physicals will drop off. Probably time is right. Yes, we've paid 8 million. He's only lasted a season and a half, but he's had a really good little stint for us, and it's just what we needed at that time. So with 2 games to go, it's absolutely in our hands. 67 points. We can't catch you. Girona have done absolutely superb. Real Madrid looks like they're going to be champions as well. But our run towards the end of the season, you know, we've racked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins in 8 games. Absolute tremendous. Once again, it's all come because we've not had European football. We've been able to play our strongest 11 every single week. And then moving into game week 38, we've just played Granada, a really convincing 4-0 win against them. Keeps us in 4th place, which is important because Atleti won as well. So still a point. I think we get it on head-to-head, but a defeat or a draw will probably let Atleti in. We're playing Mallorca, 13th at home. Fingers crossed, we'll have no problems. And there you go, Mallorca absolutely dispatched. 38 games, 22 wins, 7 draws, 9 defeats. We've managed to go on an incredible run to finish in the Champions League spots. Keep on our job if we wanted. The board have offered me a job extension. I've actually rejected it. The time has come for the Argentinian Jose Triquinho to step away. This is the bit where we're going to talk about just a little bit about the team and what we've built over these last 11 years. And we'll look at sort of like some of the stats and stuff. And then we're going to talk about what's happening next, so make sure you stay tuned for that. As you can see, I've played over 500 games as manager of Malaga, over 1,000 goals, couple of awards. We haven't won any trophies. This happens to me all the time. I don't win any trophies, but we've done really well. We've built the club, 2 trophies in the first season. And then our La Liga form has been 11th, 7th, 12th, and 12th, disappointing. But the last few years, 3rd, 6th, 2nd, and 4th. So 1 out of the last 4 seasons, 3 years in the Champions League. And we've won a couple of awards. Overview-wise, 644 million sold, 376 million bought. So we've done quite well there. Nearly 4,000 days as manager. We're actually waving goodbye to a couple of players as well. Teo is leaving on a free at the end of the season. It kind of fits in nicely. He's been with us all 11 seasons. We signed him on loan towards the end and he scored some memorable goals. He's ending up finishing and leaving the club. Most league goals, 113. He's also got the most league appearances, 354. So we've left an absolute club legend with us. So we've got the new stadium coming. The squad needs a little bit of work. They have been given, because of Champions League football, there's a little bit of money for the new manager to play with, 37.9. There's no massive outs. There's a couple of sales that could potentially be done. A couple of players still wanting to go. There's going to be loads of wages free. Koku's going. Little couple of things to look at. The age profile of Gula now going towards his 30th birthday. Estevao as well is unhappy but wants to sign a new deal, but he wants about 400 grand a week, which is just way too much. So potentially, could he then be moved on and really be able to rebuild the squad? There's other transfer deals. There's other contracts. Angel wants a new one, and there's someone else. I think one of the defenders wants a new contract as well. So really important that they get them signed up. There is nothing left for me to do than to retire. I'm not resigning. You know, Jose Trevino is now going back to Argentina to retire peacefully. All right, so that's it. Malaga manager done. I really want to see, though, who is the new manager of Malaga and where they move on. So let's go and just forward a little bit and find out who has become the new manager. And there we go. The new manager of Malaga. Malaga have today confirmed the appointment of Matthew Hood as the club's new manager. Eyebrows have been raised in the world of football at the appointment of the inexperienced 48. Wow, do you realise I would be that old in that age, I suppose? Plenty of questions when he faces the media for the first time at Rossi Elder. This is now the save that is continuing. I am continuing with this save, but in a different world. I am an Englishman. I have just put out there for the whole world to see my tactical blueprint. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Big video, but it's all about how I, as me in real life, would like to play it if I return back to managing. And I was getting a little bit sort of like with the 4-2-3-1 and the Trequartista with like the Jose Trevino style. I thought we'd reach the ceiling. I thought this was a really good way of reinventing. And now I've played a lot. I've pretty much played 2 seasons over the last 3 days, and I've absolutely loved it. And my idea at first was to move away into a new save, and I just don't want to. I really want to, you know, we've got the option of a really fantastic back 3 and wing backs and goalkeepers. We've got 2 strikers. I want to carry it on. So the save is continuing. It's no longer the Trek-inspired Malaga. We're going to stick to my tactical blueprint, if you weren't aware, was a 3-5-2. So we're going to keep with that. We might tweak a few roles and sort of like attack and support duties and stuff, but it will be a 3-5-2. That is it. The new series is called the Malaga Blueprint. I hope you will stick with it. It's kind of like a reinvention of the save. And now we can kick on for hopefully the next 10, 15 years. We've got Champions League football. We need to make sure we keep getting that. Really big summer ahead. I've got to literally appoint a whole new backroom staff. I've got no shortlist. I've got no scouts. I've got nothing. So this summer is going to be a huge summer of putting everything together. So the next video will be my first summer in charge, putting that tactical blueprint together. And it will all kind of now be recruitment focused. We can't change a lot tactically. With the 4-2-3-1, we could alter things and stuff. However, this is really going to be recruitment focused, someone for that specific position every single time. We can tweak roles as well, which might help us a little bit in the transfer market. All right, I hope you've enjoyed it. Smash a like on today's video, and we'll see you in a few days for the new season. The new era has begun on the Costa del Sol. The Malaga Blueprint is ready to go. Can't wait to dive in. I hope you'll stick with it. I hope you've enjoyed the little change to the series. I think many of you thought I put a little tweet out and stuff saying that I was going to be finishing the save. We've kind of finished it, but we're sticking with it, if that makes sense. All right, take care. See you later.